This is aim number 1. On the sea, and Hayato Yoshida.
On a chilly morning at Woburn, Japanese single-leg amputee Hayato Yoshida got the 2025 G4D Open underway. Brendan Lawler, the champion from 2 years ago, got his first round going nice and early with this birdie on the first. Juan Postigo of Spain, one of the most recognisable players on the disabled golf circuit. Good par for him on the first. Playing off one leg. This was him on the 8th hole, just missing a birdie opportunity. And up on the 11th, another birdie opportunity goes awry. Thomas Colombel of France getting himself to 1 over and eventually to even. This was him out of the bunker on the 7th. Tommaso Perino, another familiar face, the man from Italy. Nice birdie for him on the 3rd. And Fiona Gray, former soldier from Northern Ireland. Oh, just passed with that par putt from off the green on hole number 4. Englishman Mike Brown on the 6th. He's just got back from playing in the United States, and that was a beauty. And players this week competing in 9 different sport classes. The lexicographic showing you the various classes, and the body parts in red are where a player's impairment will be at its most severe, or it denotes a missing limb. You can see 2 intellectual classes, 2 visual classes, 2 classes for players who play from a seated position, and 3 standing classes as well. Brad Smith, who's come all the way from Australia, he was even par playing number 10. Just couldn't move to 1 under, but Brad Smith very much in contention at that point. Now this is the youngest player in the field, 18-year-old Frederik Brockfeldt Christiansen from Denmark, making his G4D Open debut. Back to Brendan Lawler on the 3rd. That one wouldn't drop for the Irishman. His cousin caddying for Lawler this week. Having to come out of the greenside bunker on the 10th, a bit too much spin on that one. Just short with the birdie attempt. This was a chip and chase from Lawler, managing to get up onto the top shelf of the green on the 15th. His birdie putt now moves him to 1 under par. Lawler already looking strong. And Kit Popert, who won this event last year, not playing this time around because he hasn't quite recovered from foot surgery at the start of the year, and Kit Popert caddying for his good friend, the American Chris Biggins. From one Chris to another, this is Chris Willis, the Canadian, who finished 3rd here last year. Back-to-back birdies for Willis on 14 and 15. And he was on a charge. But it all went wrong on 17. And this is him putting out for a bogey on the last. So he dropped from level par to 4 over par in the closing couple of holes, but still in contention. Another new face for you, Jennifer Schrager of Germany, of short stature, trying to be the leading female here this week at Woburn. This was a birdie attempt on the 7th, but at the end of her round, this is what she had to say.
Today I shot a 13 over par. It's okay. It could be better, could be much worse. It's okay. I'm happy with it because I'm leading so far and I want to improve the next days.
Back out onto the course, and on the 7th tee, Oliver Hurst Greenham from Morecambe in the northwest of England. And this cracker set up a birdie. From the ladies' tee on the 7th, Fiona Gray. Nice a couple of bounces to get pin high. And Thomas Blizzard went out pretty late. But that was the start of 3 bogeys in a row. This was an eagle putt for Blizzard. Didn't drop, but good enough for a birdie to settle things down for him, and he is very much in contention. Lawler in trouble on the final hole, but that's a touch of class from him. And the putt goes in as well. A solid 72 for the 2023 champion.
Played some really good golf today. It was extremely tough. It was firm. It was bouncy. 5 birdies, 5 bogeys. So anytime there's 5 birdies on the card, it's a good day. So I just need to cut out a few mistakes and get it going tomorrow.
So at the end of day 1, Brendan Lawler leads the way at level par. Christensen and the Australian Lachlan Wood on 2 over, with Colin Bell and Blizzard a further shot back. Juan Postigo is at 4 over alongside Chris Willis, who had that frustrating conclusion to his first round. With 2 rounds to go, it's all to play for. Beautiful sunshine for the start of the second round of the G4D Open. And how about we begin with one of the shots of the day from Norfolk's Brad Smith. In for the birdie on 17. Brendan Lawler was the overnight leader. This is him on the par 3 second. And a brilliant tee shot from Lawler. Could he follow up with the birdie? Of course he could. Here's the young man, Frederik Brockfeldt Christiansen of Denmark, the youngest player in the field and really making waves this year. Started his second round on the charge. This was his approach to the third. Watch the backspin on this one. Couple of birdies in a row for the Dane, and he found himself in the lead. Thomas Colombel, Frenchman, finished 6th last year, right in the mix again this time around. And Stephen Alderson in the Intellectual 2 category, a really popular player.
Oh, beautiful birdie.
Travelled all the way over from Australia, and he enjoyed that one. We have 5 vision impaired players in the field this year. This is one of them, Charlene Pienaar. Incredible skill, helped by their caddies to line up. But the shots themselves are all down to the player. Back to Colin Bell on the 7th hole, in trouble. Decent chip out. Colin Bell has autism. This was for a par to keep him at 2 over par. Chris Willis, the Canadian, 3rd last year. Lovely approach, but Willis's putting let him down today. Back to Christiansen on the 9th hole. Beautiful approach. And a great putt for another birdie. I grabbed a quick word with Christiansen halfway through his round. Frederik, you're playing really well. How exciting is it to see your name up near the top of the leaderboard?
It's fun, yeah. I don't really think so much about it, but yeah, just another day and the work.
You're the youngest player here. Yeah. What are you making of the G4D Open? It's your debut. Yeah. What's it been like so far this week?
It's fun. It's very fun. I like the hard competitors, and yeah, overall just fun. Yeah.
Thanks for stopping by.
Yeah.
Continue to play well.
Will do. Thank you.
In the race for the women's title, 2 players are tied at 27 over par. This is Jennifer Schrager of Germany.
Today it was okay. I hit some bad shots, so I made some mistakes. But overall, I managed to keep my ball straight.
And it's sure to go to the wire tomorrow between Schrager and the defending champion, Daphne van Houten of the Netherlands.
I didn't play very well, just like yesterday. I know how it feels to be in the lead, be in the first group. I take the confidence from the last few holes today to tomorrow.
From one Dutch player to another, and Richard Kluwen, diagnosed with MS 25 years ago. He's one of the players who plays from a specialist wheelchair. This is him chipping from just off the green on the 15th. Another look at Alderson. Par putt on 13. Back up near the top of the leaderboard, Colin Bell. He's from Normandy in France. His tee shot on the par 3, 16th. And he would finish with a 72, level par round, the best of the day.
The start was actually kind of tough. Then we bounced back with birdie on the 10th and actually finished really strong with giving myself a lot of opportunities for birdies, so I'm really happy with that.
Our first look of the day at Juan Postigo of Spain. 4 over par for the tournament. This is his approach on 17. Cracker. And he finished off for the birdie too.
Nice birdie, mate. Thank you.
Christiansen, also on 17, for a birdie. Not quite. Tidies up for a par though. And Thomas Blizzard from the Midlands. That was for a birdie, not quite his day on the greens. But he's still very much in contention. They're all trying to chase down Brendan Lawler, who hit a 74 today, dropping back to 2 over par, but still in the lead.
It was definitely harder. The wind was very, very fiery today. Course was fiery as well. It was playing a lot firmer and greens were very, very quick. Struggled off the tee a wee bit. Played okay. I got up and down quite a lot today, which kind of saved my score. But it's nice to know that not playing my best, I can still maintain a score and still have a one-shot lead, so I'm delighted.
So as Lawler said there, he has that one-shot lead over Thomas Colombel and Frederick Brockfeld. Christiansen is 1 further back. Thomas Blizzard will need a good round tomorrow. Saturday at Woburn and the final round of the G4D Open. Could Brendan Lawler regain the title he won in 2023? He teed off in the final group, but up ahead on the course, Juan Postigo was in action, wowing the crowds as usual. This was his approach on the first, starting his final round at 7 over. And that's the beauty from the Spaniard, who plays off one leg, uses the crutches on the green, and knocked in the birdie. Postigo was playing with Thomas Blizzard, who double bogeyed the first. This was his tee shot on the second, a par 3. And how about that for a response? Blizzard getting his round back on track. Behind them, the final group. It was vital for the likes of Christiansen here to start well. But sadly, as the ball rolled over the top of the cup, it would be shots dropped on the first. This for the bogey, and not to be. So the worst possible start for one of Brendan Lawler's biggest rivals today. Thomas Colombel was also in the final group and on Brendan Lawler's tail, but he too found trouble on the first hole. That was for a bogey. So Colombel and Christiansen both double bogeying the first, and that meant that Brendan Lawler, who had a one-shot lead over Colombel overnight, had a cushion already as he took this birdie putt. Knocked it in for a par and stretching his lead without having to get out of first gear. The women's title was also up for grabs today. Amy Bullock, Jennifer Schrager and the defending champion Daphne van Houten in the final group. Schrager and van Houten locked together on the same score going into this final round. Long putt from off the green on the second. Oh, close for the lady from the Netherlands. Tidied up for a bogey. Schrager, who played so well, especially yesterday, but today not finding things so straightforward. This for a bogey on the third. Slides by, and Schrager couldn't keep up with Van Houten, and it meant that despite a bogey on the last, Daphne Van Houten took the women's title by 11 shots, a massive margin of victory for 2 G4D Opens in a row.
In the beginning I was still struggling a bit, but I got well through the first 3 holes, which are quite difficult for us, and that gave me a kind of boost. I haven't shot under 80 on this course yet because it's very tight, it's very long, it's difficult, so I'm very, very happy that I shot under 80 today.
Congratulations to Van Houten, who has scoliosis and has been battling long COVID. Now this is Thomas Colombel on the fourth in all sorts of difficulty. His first tee shot was a lost ball. He took 3 off the tee, got snagged up with all these trees over on the other side, eventually chipped out to here, and this is his 7th shot now. So Colombel dropping down the leaderboard, but that was a brilliant recovery, and he will tap in for an 8 eventually there. Now Lachlan Wood was putting together a brilliant round at this point. He'd had 4 birdies on the front 9, had moved into 2nd place, under the radar really. This is him on the 11th. Birdie opportunity. Couldn't take that one though. But Wood was creeping up the leaderboard and was on Brendan Lawler's tail, the Australian. 18-year-old Fredrik Brockfeldt Christiansen. He's impressed everybody here this week. 2nd shot into the 5th. Nice backspin. We've seen that from him a couple of times, and that's pin high. Could he make it for birdie? Yes, he could. And that gets his round going again. But Lawler followed him in. The Irishman just grinding away really as his rivals fell away. And that birdie on 5 followed by another on 6. Thomas Blizzard on the 9th. Birdie for him, little fist pump. Lawler's approach on the 9th. At 1 over par at this point, and he was just playing really steady golf. That's all he needed to do. Blizzard on the 11th. Oh, that's one of the best approaches we've seen into there this week. Tapping in for a birdie to move himself to 6 over. Now this is a huge eagle opportunity for Brendan Lawler. Up and over the hill. Will it drop? Not quite. Close enough for a birdie and very much in control. We join Lachlan Wood finishing his round, and oh, that one just slides by. You can see the frustration. At one point he looked like he was on for a 68 or better, but as he lines up this par putt, it would be enough for a round today of 71, the best of the week. And in it goes. So lots to feel proud about for the Australian, finishing in 2nd place. Postigo on the 15th. Vamos indeed for the Spaniard. And Stephen Alderson finishing his G4D Open. 4 birdies in his last 5 holes, including this one. An incredible effort at the end of a long week. Quite rightly saluting the crowd. Blizzard finishing with a long par putt. Oh, what a nice moment for the man from the Midlands who has autism. He'd be the best placed British player in the field in a tie for third. Great week for Blizzard, and he'll be back, no doubt about that. Juan Postigo in for a par on the 18th, and he would share third place with Blizzard. So now Brendan Lawler knew he would be champion at this point unless something disastrous happened. His second into the 18th. No problem at all. Large crowds gathered by this point. Here's the Dane, another player who will be back at the G4D Open for many years to come. Not his day today, but you can see the talent. Birdie putt now for the champion-elect. Doesn't matter. Christensen in for a par, and that's been a fantastic week. He'll be disappointed with today, I'm sure, but all credit to the young Dane. And Kit Pope watching on, having fun, last year's champion. Lawler taps in for a par, and there you have our 2025 G4D Open champion and his friends and rivals celebrate in fine style. A hug from Mum too.
Yeah, it's amazing. This is one of the biggest events on the calendar for us, and it's an absolute treat to come back here every year and to get the win again. I haven't won in so long, to be honest. I've won in Ireland a few weeks ago, but it was a smaller event. But such a big event represented by the DP World Tour, ORNA and EDGA. To win something like this is fantastic. It's been a while.
The 2025 G4D Open champion from Ireland, Brendan Lawler.
Both Lawler and Van Houten winning their second G4D Opens at Woburn. They'll take the headlines, but they celebrated with all of the sport class winners. Van Houten winning by 11 shots in the end from Jennifer Schrager of Germany, and Brendan Lawler with a 3 over par total of 219 for a 4-shot victory.